So you said something that I think is very important, right? The anatomy discussion is what lays the foundation. So we should be talking about anatomy very early on. And it's perfectly okay to toggle between like pet names and anatomically correct names, right? You don't need your 7-year old to always be referring to the vulva, right?
Right.
Whatever you pet name it in your house, it's okay, but they should actually know anatomy too. What that does is it lays the foundation for the harder talks or the more sexualized talks down the line. So body parts and safe touch should start by 3, 4, 5. By 5 years old, your kid should know the difference between public parts and private parts. And this starts to lay a foundation. So everyone listening, what I'd like to suggest is that it is an incremental building block before you get to the talk. And I would actually even challenge that it's not one talk, it's a series of sort of incremental information drops. Because this is a dad's podcast, right? I would like to also say it doesn't just need to be gender to gender, right? I encourage
Good point.
dads to be able to talk to daughters and moms to be able to talk to sons, because that creates fluidity and because it also cues them that this is fair game. And if you want to be one of the authorities on this topic to your child, then you need to be willing to talk to them about it. So that's sort of the like intro piece. The actual age, you also hit on it. There's a maturity piece and a chapter piece. So, some kids are just naturally a little bit more mature and a little more advanced. This is also influenced by if they have older siblings, if they have more time alone, if they're around cousins. Again, for all dads listening, some kids are just like, they land in a more socially advanced space. But I would say by, 5th to 7th grade, your kid should really understand what sex is, and they should understand the responsibility around it, and they should understand what your point of view on when it is okay to start engaging in various sexual behaviors. So one of the things that I hear parents say a lot is, I don't want to give them too much information because I don't want them to think I'm cool with it. I don't want them to think I'm okay with it. But what research actually shows is the best model is information plus your family values and expectations.
Yeah.
And so every conversation can be riddled with, by the way, just because I'm telling you this doesn't mean it's okay to do it. And my invitation to parents in the way to think about this is, our kids know what a car is. That doesn't mean they can drive when at 12 years old.
Great
Our kids
point.
know what a glass of wine is. Our kids know what a gun is, right? That doesn't mean that they are able to use or ingest or engage in any of these things. It just means they know. And so what we need to do is sort of implement that because you know this stuff is not a license to do it. It just means I want you to be aware. I am also a big fan of keeping the information in short sound bites as you can, because that creates normalcy. It shouldn't be one discussion. It should be myriad of discussions.
Yeah, and after that first big discussion, it's so much easier.
Of
It's
course.
so much easier, and going and kind of filling in the holes or whatever. And
No pun intended.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.